And we begin with breaking news in Dallas. We have learned that charges have been filed for that massive explosion at an apartment complex in southern Dallas.
Yeah, the explosion 3 weeks ago critically injured several firefighters and left dozens of families without a home. Let's get to investigative reporter Tanya Iser with the very latest. And Tanya, what can you tell us about the suspect tonight?
Well, what we know about him so far is that they have filed 7 deadly conduct charges on him, and what they're alleging is that there was a domestic disturbance several hours earlier, and that he fired a weapon into that apartment, and that it hit the stove and it severed the gas line. As you can imagine, this is really an extraordinary situation, but I've been aware that investigators have been looking at this for weeks, and they were able to get ballistics evidence that ties a shell casing that they found inside that apartment with the weapon that they found on him.
Tanya, you and I were at the scene after the explosion, and several residents there told us they had heard gunshots and were concerned that that's what caused that gas leak.
They were, and I remember, actually other reporters also had people telling them that, but I remember telling a couple of people who asked me about that I just thought that was highly unlikely. But as you know, has become clear in the past couple of weeks, that was exactly what investigators were looking at. And they began looking at that actually within days, within a short period after this happened. This suspect was actually taken into custody on October 3rd. They picked him up on an aggravated assault charge, being a felon in possession of a firearm, and also having drugs on him. And then they, of course, had to wait for ballistics before they could file these charges.
All right, so what's next for the suspect? What kind of time is he facing if convicted?
Well, that's a little complicated, Cynthia. He's also going to face federal gun charges, and I'm not sure how long the charge is on that, but that's actually what I'm being told is the most serious charge that he could be looking at, is that because the Attorney General's office is looking at taking this federal in terms of the gun charge.
All right, our thanks to you, Tanya Iser, for staying on top of this story. And if you don't already have it, now is a great time to download the WFAA app. Use it to find updates on this developing story, as well as other major headlines. Just make sure to turn on your notifications so you get the latest information as it happens.